Here we have a standard opening. You can install a reach-free window. This is a new construction or renovation. And here we have some of our base components laid out. We have a base track, top channel, and 2 side channels. And we'll get started on the installation. I recommend cutting a couple of these channels down so you can use them to center the base track, because the side channels are going to slide in on the sides to keep a nice, tight, clean look. So those are definitely helpful for spacers, and we'll use those also on the top. Also gonna just put a component down behind this and tape it, so when we remove the base track for installation, peel off the 2-sided tape for installation on granite, or in this case I believe this is quartz, we will have a nice straight line we can just butt up right against it. Installing a window, many of these are going to be ones that are there and you're just retrofitting. We always suggest you drop in a new bottom track to get it nice and smooth, because they wear out really fast with poor components, mismatched components, etc., etc. A lot of windows were put in, shall I say, not square. So they're doomed to fail from the first and the get-go. So each reach-free kit comes with a clutch adjustment tool. You see that little notch on the very top? That's for a plumb line. The plumb line and tool are designed for a friction fit, so you stick it up on the top channel to establish the very center of that channel, and you want to make sure that you're exactly on the middle of the base track so you have a nice square fit, and this window is going to run perfectly for years and years with almost no roller wear. So it's wonderful. Suggest when you're doing the retrofits, new constructions, always check it. As you can see, the top channel is installed nice and square. I did go ahead and spray the screw heads brown just to match it. Customer likes a nice clean look, and we should absolutely provide that. Channels are now installed, and I didn't mention, make sure you use a self-centering bit. Otherwise, these will tend to creep off to the side after you got them all squared up. It's quite maddening. Nice self-centering bit and make your life a lot easier. So installing the side channels is really a piece of cake. Once the bottom track is square, we've already plumb bobbed, we know the top is square. It's just a matter of making the two just meet each other perfect. There's always a little bit of give here. You want some expansion and contraction. There's always a saw blade width you have to deal with when you're cutting metal. But in general, it's a nice clean fit. You want to make it look tight and perfect for the customer. Receptionist side of the office. See, all of our components are in nice and tight. Looks great. And you can see that there's quite a bit of work to be done here. I just want to make note that we're not going to be able to install the system. We're just kind of dry fitting it today, get as much done as we can during the COVID crisis. There's nowhere to mount the switch yet, so we can't go forward. But since the trades are still going to be here, we're going to want to make sure that we tape and protect this bottom track. So if it gets dinged up, it'll have to be replaced. It would make noise from here on out. Then put the glass in, see how it fits. Just want to mention that I do take these top guides and knock the corners off them. You don't have to do this for the passive panel, but for the one that's going to be driven back and forth, there's no sense in leaving a sharp edge in there that could make some racket. I'm going to try some larger clips so there's a less chance that it's going to bang around in that top channel and be all the quieter. So this is the side with the patented extrusion for the reach-free window. All you do is slide the motor and components up into the bottom track until it hits, and that way you're assured that you have a perpendicular drive to the drive belt. You'll get the most years of service out of it. And keep in mind that the patented channel is always 3/8 of an inch shorter than the glass. We're going to put a cushioned edge guard up on there, and it's going to make for a nice tight fit and a real quiet close. From the customer side, you're not going to see too much over here. little bit of the drive wheel. You'll see some other components, proximity switches, but a real clean look. And we did paint all the components. This is a custom job in brown, so that way it blends in as much as possible. This customer asked for the electro hold option, so that means we're going to have a fully secure window. Now what we're going to do is install this drop pin into the passive panel. We're going to drill a hole through this side channel and then angle it downward so gravity won't allow it to come out. And we're going to go into the recess, and I have it taped, so we're going to be putting it in somewhere down there, but in the center of the channel. And then this window will be locked. In the event of a power outage, if they don't have a battery backup, they will be able to pull this pin, actuate this window as they normally would, and when power resumes, they can go ahead and use the reach-free window again. Installing the holder for the locking pin, and of course we're not going to need that right now because we're going to want to lock it. It slides all the way through, and that window is not coming open.